What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Madam Adam, as always, and it is time for another honest tarot deck review. I am so excited about this one, not just for the cards, but for the guidebook. You know I love a good guidebook. Too many people toss the guidebook out the window and just focus on the cards, and then they act all confused, and they're like, I don't get tarot, I don't understand it, it's not coming to me. It's never gonna just come to you, girl. You have to read the guidebook. Today, we are going to be talking about the brand new, I'm so excited, the brand new Choose Your Own Adventure tarot deck. Now, if you're a Madam Adam Maven and you were a part of my book club that we had going on there for a while, we played the Choose Your Own Adventure games and we read a bunch of Choose Your Own Adventure books. This is my childhood in a nutshell. I was always a giant fan of Choose Your Own Adventure, and when this company reached out to me, I was like, are you watching me, or do you know this is a thing for me? And I don't think they did, because when they found out that I was such a big fan, they sent me some books as well as the deck. And this deck, I am so impressed. I'm so impressed with the thought, the care, the guidebook. We're going to read quite a bit from the guidebook because, girl, it is jam-packed with fabulous information, spreads, history of tarot. Just wait. You just wait. So Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot. I'm very, very excited. The box, obviously, is small enough where it can be a carrying case. It's got a magnetic flap here. Red on the inside, very simple, but it's small enough that it covers, doubles as its own carrying case as well. The card stock is really, really lovely. I would call this a beginner deck, or a beginner friendly deck, because of the guidebook itself. But there's the back of the cards for you. It yields upright and inverted on the back, which we know we love. I don't like decks that, if we're gonna fuck with reversals, I don't like decks that you can tell by the back of it if it's upright or not. To me, it's like spoiler alert a little bit, but the card stock is really lovely, and the images are based on the Rider-Waite-Smith images for familiarity and so on, but it's the guidebook for this one for me the most. It is the guidebook that really sells it, that to me gives so much reverence and respect to the tarot themselves. So we're going to go through this a little bit. The tarot, Choose Your Own Adventure tarot deck is illustrated by Brian Anderson, written by Raina Tahir. I hope I said that right. Here's a publisher's note. In the spring of 2023, when we were all still unpacking from the pandemic and returning to trade shows, I started to receive suggestions that it would be very cool of us to publish a Choose Your Own Adventure tarot deck. The sheer number of completely unconnected people who would come by our booth and randomly mention this startled me. But gradually, the idea began to appeal. My dream artist was Brian Anderson. We had only been able to procure his services for a single book cover, The Terrific Murder at the Old Willow Boarding School. Brian was always booked way in advance. When we reached out anyway. Brian turned out to be a tarot devotee himself. I love the universe. No one had ever asked him to draw a deck, and he was thrilled. On his own, Brian created a fictional boarding school where gifted students of the tarot went to learn. He called this imaginary place the Arcana Institute, and kept it as inspiration as he drew 78 cards in the deck. Finished in just over 6 months, while also drawing the animation for a pilot based on his cartoon. So he's multitasking. Around the same time, we learned that one of our favorite Choose Your Own Adventure authors, Raina Tahir, was also a 20-year tarot veteran, like me, and was even designing her own deck. Raina kindly agreed to write this brief Choose Your Own Adventure guide to tarot, and it is excellent. Brief, yes, but definitely excellent. May you use these Choose Your Own Adventure tarot cards and guide to tarot wisely and gain great insight by doing so. One thing is certain, adventure awaits. I love that. And that's from the publisher. So there's a chapter here that's about destiny and making the deck, the author making the deck, why they decided to do it. But another big thing I wanted to focus on here is that they have the history of Tarot. They have the history of tarot in this guidebook as well, which is just, and it's detail. So much detail. And I fucking love that so much. That it's not just, here's the cards, here's what they mean, but history is in here as well, all the way from Egyptian history to French history, all the way up to the 1900s. Incredible. Incredible. I want to read the bottom, a little bit of the last bit here. Magic is certainly more mainstream today in 2024 than it has been in a long while. Certainly, it is more popular than when I first laid eyes on a tarot deck in Traverse City in 2007, which is the beginning of this little story here. We are in the third decade of the 21st century, surrounded by unknowns and by upheaval, climactic, social, and political, like the French tarot trolls of the 18th century. A lot of magic spaces promote dangerous behavior and conspiracy theories. There were many tarot practitioners who I stopped following during the pandemic shutdown because they denied the science of the virus, putting their followers at risk. See, so we're not negating reality here, which is what I think is lovely. It gets so good. Wait a minute. Wait till you hear this shit. In an era of newfound conspirituality, I love that. It is important to establish ethical practices for those of us who want to practice magic without abandoning critical thought, science, and research. Period. Period. Across the board. Yes, ma'am. While early practitioners of tarot gave us a valuable magic tool, the conspiracies they spread did nothing to serve the magic or its querents. The term for the one with the question. The querent. Late 18th century tarot was in essence a dishonest marketing ploy. Period. Does tarot need to be ancient to be a valid practice? Not at all. The oldest magic, the statement, as above, so below, is a testament to human power. A more modern phrasing would be, we are what we think. Or, your thoughts are things that affect your circumstances. We give magic its power. Yes, fucking ma'am. It's important to be honest about the roots of tarot, but we also must be honest about its uses. Can tarot make predictions? You know how I feel about this. I feel that there's no such thing as fortune telling in my experience, but those of us that can predict are simply using pattern recognition. Psychics and mediums that are predicting things, you're only getting one potential timeline, one possibility in out of infinite ones. But for me, predicting with tarot is pattern recognition. That's all it is. And using the cards to notice and be aware of the patterns that you make, so we can obviously predict what might happen going forward using that pattern, right? So here's what they say here. Can tarot make predictions? In my experience, yes, it can, and it often has. I gave myself a reading once that said I would meet my soulmate soon. A month later, I did. I gave my friend a reading that said a woman from her past would reach out to her soon, and she did. I don't dismiss those readings, but I do not expect prediction from all my readings. Correct. I believe that that's possible. I fully believe that you can predict, but it's based on pattern recognition, right? Tarot being predictive is rare in my experience, but what is common is the tarot's ability to read energy around a question. Couldn't have put it better myself. Most of the time when I pull a card or create a full spread, the reading is just a way for me to see a circumstance or question differently. Tarot is an exceptional tool for self-reflection. In black and white. Yes, ma'am. Self-reflection. I lost my space. It is an excellent way to externalize my worries and questions so that I can look at them from a distance. So how do we ethically practice the magic of tarot? I love this. I don't do medical, legal, or romantic readings. No romantic readings during lives. During private sessions, we can talk about whatever you want because I can dive deeper into the shallow question for the deeper, real root of the thing, of why you want to know that, you know? So here's what they say here. How do we ethically practice the magic of tarot? On the most basic level, an ethical practice is an honest practice. I'm honest with myself about what the cards are actually telling me, rather than what I want the cards to say. If I can't read the cards without inserting my desires or needs into the spread, then it's a sign I shouldn't be asking that particular question just yet. fully agree. I love the way that's phrased. When I give readings to others, I'm honest about what I do and do not know. If the spread doesn't make sense to me, I give my interpretations of the cards and ask the querent if it makes sense to them. Ultimately, humility and honesty are the basic foundation of any ethical magical practice. Whether you bought Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot deck for magic, for self-reflection and meditation, or just out of plain curiosity, I hope that you find this guide helpful as you begin your tarot journey. Welcome. Oh my God. I couldn't have put it better myself. And how fucking refreshing for such a deep talk about ethics in tarot and honesty and about predicting, and that yes, it's possible, but we're not fortune telling here. We're using this to understand our questions, our mind, ourselves a little bit better, our situations from different angles. So I am thrilled with how this is done and the level of ethics and truth that is put into this. There's a lot of stuff before that as well about tarot history from you know, Visconti to let's see, I mean, we're talking about the Golden Dawn in here. We're talking about Hermetic tarot. We're talking about the Rider-Waite, the Judeo-Christian images in some cards. This is so well worded and so well done. You are not just going to learn the definitions of cards, but you're going to learn the history of tarot from this book as well. I'm telling you, the guidebooks are everything. Do not skip out on your guidebook. I swear. Going on in the guidebook, how to use a tarot deck. This deck is based on the most popular tarot deck version, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck mentioned in the section titled History. It is the easiest deck to begin with, partially because there are many resources available that explain that deck and what's in it. That's what I always say, right? The Rider-Waite-Smith deck is in the public domain, so most authors and tarot enthusiasts use those images, since they're over 100 years old now, to explain tarot. So most decks that have imagery is going to be based on those for that reason. As you develop your practice, you may pick up other kinds of tarot decks and use them. Other decks include the Marseille. I have one of those that flip 2 of the major arcana. And the Thoth deck, popularized by many, including Empress, Josephine's Reader, Lenormand. The Lenormand tarot decks as well. Many tarot readers incorporate oracle cards and other forms of cartomancy in their repertoire. Absolutely. I will speak to using other types of magic with tarot later as well. So they're going to go into that later. This book is all in one. It's an all-in-one experience. 2 parts, the majors and minors. They break down what's major, what's minor, what that means, and why. The highest self. Before we continue, we want to be clear what we mean by your higher self. This is a term I'm taking from years of therapy, specifically eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, EMDR, and internal family systems, IFS. I see the bibliography for more source information. Our higher selves are the part of us that is at peace and grounded. Trauma and past experiences may have made us learn coping mechanisms, some healthy and some not so much, but our highest selves are the versions of us that can understand and have compassion for ourselves while still enacting healthy behavior and boundaries. Bitch. Definitions in here. Definitions for buzzwords all up in here. A quick note about gendered terms. A queen card doesn't necessarily mean the person it's referring to is a woman or female presenting. Look at the traits associated. So we're talking more about the way it's actives and passives and traits aligned with those cards, and not being a king is a man, a queen is a woman. We're being fluid with it. We're being metaphorical with it. Absolutely. Using other forms of magic. Yes, very good. Interpreting the cards is in here as well. Developing a reading style. What's your accent on the cards? As I always say, tarot is like learning a language, and this is how we develop our own specific accent, right? Fantastic. Carrying and storing for your cards. Types of spreads, a 1-card spread, a 3-card spread. They broke down the Celtic cross for you here as well, with what placement of card means what for where. And then they go into the definitions of the cards themselves. The major arcana, they have a little blurb about them, a little paragraph, upright and reversed meanings. Just a little spoiler alert for some of the cards here. The Lover's card is 2 male presenting people. Love that. Some queer in there is fantastic. But another thing that I love about the definition portion of this guidebook, when you get to the minor arcana, they have broad meanings of all of the minors. Aces are beginnings, 2s are balance and choices, 3s have movement, 4s have stability, 5s are conflict, 6s are harmony, 7s desires, etc., etc., etc. I love that. And then they go further into the suits, and the same vein as the majors, a little blurb upright and reversed for each one of these cards. Amazing. This guidebook is worth the money itself. If you want to learn tarot, if you want a place to begin, Choose Your Own Adventure might be good for you. They have a glossary, Egyptian Mamluk deck, a deck of cards dated back to the Mamluk era of Egypt. I hope I'm saying that right. That became the basis of modern playing cards. Tarocchi, an Italian card game using trumps like the major arcana, and regular cards, the minor arcana. Cartomancy, the art of divination and fortune telling using cards. Querent, the person who is asking questions. Omnipresent, being in all places at once. Self-actualization means to be fulfilling your potential and goals. Babe, like this is like, it's being spoon fed to you. Like, it's all in here. It's truly incredible. Bibliography and further resources about the artist. Let's go into that a little bit. The artist Brian Anderson is the creator of the upcoming graphic novels and animated series Sophie, based on the syndicated comic Dog Eat Doug. He also is the author of the Conjurers trilogy, Rise of the Shadow, Hunt of the Lost, and Flight of the Fallen, as well as the picture books Nighty Night, Sleepy Sleeps, and Prince's New Pet, and Monster Chefs. He lives in North Carolina with his family, which includes a herd of rescued dogs and cats. I love that. The images in this deck have a mix of, like, cyberpunk and fantasy. It's a blend of like technology and nature kind of coming together. It is really cool. Now, the author is really who I want to tell you guys about, because this book, I fucking can't. I am so thrilled and proud to be a Choose Your Own Adventure connoisseur, a Choose Your Own Adventure fan, because this deck is just 10 out of 10 for me, checking all the boxes, and all the cards are so well done. They're inclusive. There's queer representation. There's people in wheelchairs as well, multiple races. It's incredible, this deck. So since Raina Tahir first taught herself to read tarot, she's self-taught like me. Shut up. She has been giving readings, teaching others tarot, and is developing her own tarot deck. She is a Muslim immigrant from Pakistan and raised in Kuwait. She is also a poet, author, and educator in Portland, Oregon. Learn more about Raina and join her mission to fight for a free Palestine at www.raina-tahir.com. That's RANA-TAHIR.com. I'm going to put that on the description below this video as well. The designers of the deck, Dottie Green, began Choose Your Own Adventure journey in 2007, designing one of the company's first websites. She's helped develop Choose Your Own Adventure's secret online endings. Ooh, I didn't know it was a thing. Rebranded the current classic covers, hosted live book launches from Antarctica, and assisted in the creation of an immersive Choose Your Own Adventure exhibition at the Story Museum in Oxford, UK. I want to go. Oh my God. A champion of choice, Dottie believes in the power of agency that Choose Your Own Adventure books offer children and hopes it sparks a lifelong love of reading. It did in me, girl. It did in me. She lives in Virginia Beach with her 10-year-old son who loves giving design advice and a geriatric pity. Aw, lovely. You better take design advice from your little one. That's brill. Jamie Proctor Brassard, a Choose Co fan since the 80s, is proud to be raising a new generation of devoted readers in the Green Mountains of Vermont. She owns Letter 10 Creative, a design and photography studio, and will drive hours for a good, creamy, I don't know what that means, or photo opportunity. I love that. And there's a little back page for notes if you want. But this guidebook knocked out of the park. I swear, this is an incredible deck. Let's look at some of my favorite cards. Let's look up some of my worry cards that I worry about. How do we feel about the Lovers, as an example? It says, two lovers stand between two trees that hold 12 lanterns. An angel watches over their moment of intimacy. Together, the lovers have created their own world, even in the midst of the activity around them. In and with each other, the lovers find balance between physical desire and emotional needs. Like the tree branches intertwined above them, the lovers hold hands. Through this simple act, they connect, two becoming one while still maintaining their individuality. One does not overpower the other. There is harmony. The lovers invite you to make a choice about who you are and how you connect with others. What do I always say? The lovers' choice. Upright, you are learning what is needed to create meaningful connections with others. These can be romantic or platonic relationships. Thank you for not making it specifically romantic. In the reverse, there is disharmony in your relationships or within yourself. Something has been broken. You will need to decide, choice, if it can be repaired and how. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Let's look at the Three of Swords, another problematic card in most decks. A heart is pierced by three swords, and the rain pours over it like tears on a deep cut. Upright, you have suffered an intense pain, but with it comes clarity. You know why something had to end, though it still hurts. With this understanding, you're able to move on. In the reverse, you are lingering in the pain, unable to leave it. Wallowing is hurting you deeply. So it's not romantic. They didn't make it about heartbreak. They made it about pain in general. But I love that it went to this understanding it. That's the thing. It is a sword card. Understanding disappointments that come from expectations. That's always my spin on it, but it's because of this understanding of what the card means. What's another problematic card for me? Two of Cups. Standing beneath the head of a red lion and around the staff of Hermes, a symbol of healing and medicine, the two figures drink from their cups. Correct. Very much based on the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, all of these cards. But yes, the red lion and the cryon of healing, they're beneath them. That's why I always say the Two of Cups is about emotional communication. Cups, communicating, the two of them, for the sake of healing. It says, upright, there is a balance and integration in your partnerships. This could refer to romance, platonic, familial, or business relationships. Yes! Yes, integration of the masculine and feminine or opposing sides, finding balance. Very good. Reversed, examine your relationships. There may be some unfair imbalance, whether that is in commitment, emotions, or something else. This can also signify the end or of disillusionment with a relationship. Yes. Yes, I fully agree. I like the spin on that it's more about the balance of the communication than it is about the communication itself. I love that. Very good. Are we balanced in our feeling? Are we hearing things properly? Is this a sign that there's not balance and we need to communicate, that we need to end something here, that there's disillusion going on? I am obsessed. What's another one that's problematic? Let's read the Tower. Standing on a precarious edge, the tower looks stable, but the foundation is giving way. Like a sudden epiphany, lightning strikes the topmost point of the tower, sending it into flames. This message from the universe exposes the weakness of the tower's construction and destroys it. Two figures jump out of the windows. One looks down toward where she falls. The other looks up toward where he fell from. Though its destruction was unexpected, the tower's collapse is very much needed. Instead of letting it decay over time, it is brought down so something better will be built. Yes. Yes. Upright. While this breaking of foundations is painful and chaotic, it is there to help you. You are beginning a period of transformation, either internally or externally, perhaps both. Absolutely. In the reverse, resisting a necessary transformation has left you feeling trapped. Yes. Now notice that like an inverse or a reverse card is often the opposite or an internalizing or of the card, or it's a blockage of that meaning. So that's why I don't particularly fuck with reversals, because I've learned to see the cards from both sides without bias. So reversals are in here for you, but you can understand just by those few definitions why they are the way they are, and determine for yourself whether or not you want to even read reversals. So choose your own adventure tarot deck. A 10 out of 10, babe. A full 10 out of 10 for me. Beginner friendly, advanced reader friendly. I think the card images are gorgeous. Let me know what you guys think in the cards. Which one really stands out to you? Is there something that you really like about one in particular? Do you enjoy the art style? Let's give it a good shuffle. Perfection. They shuffle beautifully. Beautiful. Perfection. A lovely bridge. The card stock is fantastic. Fantastic. Three of Cups energy, my friends. A quick little one card for you. Focus on friendships, camaraderie, emotional teamwork. Let's make it a 3 card. Why? Four of Cups. I didn't shuffle that well. Let's not put other people too far ahead of us right now. Let's make sure we're not getting emotionally complacent and ignoring help. Handling this is the Chariot. Yes. The Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot deck is a success. Take it with you wherever you go. You're not a work in progress. You're a success in progress. The trying has been the succeeding. Let's read what they say about the Chariot. A chariot rider does not wait for time to move her along. She sets the direction and goes. She is certain. She knows what she wants and works toward it. Her progression is deliberate. Like the magician, she knows the power of her strength of will. She even holds her own wand, the spyglass, to chart her path. This is not a bullheaded moving forward, but this is the result of good planning, of knowing oneself and one's desires. Below her airship stand 2 sphinxes representing the dual or opposing forces the chariot rider must deal with as she goes on her journey, never straying from her path. The stars above her shows that she's creating divine timing for her goals. Yes. Yes. I love this. I'm obsessed. Choose your own adventure, my friends. Let me know what you guys think. Do you enjoy this? Shout out to Raina Tahir. What a great guidebook. What a great definition. Self-taught, just like me. It feels kindred to me for that reason. This is a deck that I will be using in lives. It's going to be incorporated into my regular circulation. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. A full look of it is coming up in just a moment. Comment. Thank you for subscribing. Let me know what you like about it. Which card is your favorite? Will you be getting Choose Your Own Adventure? Will you be embarking on your own path and making your journey what it is for you? Tarot is a Choose Your Own Adventure. Is it not? I think so. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. A full look at it is coming up right now.